They laughed at him, mocked his clothes, refused to serve him, thought he was just another broke black man walking into a white-owned bar. But when he unzipped his jacket, the room fell silent. This isn't just a story about ignorance, but before we dive into this story, comment below where you are watching from. And if you enjoy this tale with an unexpected twists and moment of joy, don't forget to subscribe. It's a story about power, pain, and a twist that no one saw coming. And by the time it ends, someone won't just regret what they did. They'll wish they never opened their mouth in the first place. He walked in, head low, jacket zipped. Silence followed. It wasn't just any bar. It was Crowley's, downtown Georgia, the kind of place that smelled like beer and unspoken rules. White-owned, white-occupied, white unbothered. Until now. His name was Michael Carter. Black, 52, war-hardened hands, worn-out boots, a look in his eyes that said he'd seen more than anyone in that room ever would. But none of them saw that. All they saw was color, clothes, class. The bartender spotted him, froze. Her name tag said Amber, but her face said go back. She didn't greet him, didn't smile. She reached beneath the counter instead. Michael stood still, calm, controlled, like a bomb with a ticking clock. "Can I get a beer?" he asked softly. She stared. "We don't serve your kind here." The room stilled. A chair creaked. A whisper died in someone's throat. Michael didn't blink. He looked around. No ally in sight. Just eyes. Curious. Cruel. "Excuse me?" he asked again. Amber's voice sharpened. "You heard me. We don't need trouble. So take your broke self and walk out before I call the cops." A man at the end chuckled. Another joined. Then more. The kind of laughter that carries ignorance on its breath. Michael's jaw clenched. "You sure that's the path you want to take?" Amber folded her arms. "Are you threatening me?" "No, ma'am," he said calmly. "I just don't think you know who I am." More laughter. From the back, someone shouted, "Man, you look like you mop floors for a living." Michael inhaled. Deep. Steady. "All right," he muttered. And then, he unzipped his jacket. Slowly. Purposefully. Amber's eyes darted to his hands. Her fingers twitched beneath the counter, probably gripping a bat. Or worse. But Michael kept going. One zip. One pull. One reveal. And there it was. A U.S. Army dress shirt. Medals shining like judgment. Bronze Star. Purple Heart. Distinguished. Service Cross. A silence louder than screams filled the bar. Michael stood straight. Taller now. Bigger somehow. Not in size, but in presence. In weight. He pointed to the medals. That one was for pulling 3 men out of a burning Humvee in Fallujah. That one for surviving an ambush in Kandahar. And this one for holding the line when others ran. Nobody spoke. Nobody laughed. Amber's lips trembled. I didn't know." Michael nodded slowly. "Exactly. You didn't know? Because you didn't care to ask." The mocking man tried to speak. "Hey, listen, I didn't mean, you meant it." Michael cut him off. "You all meant it." His voice didn't rise. It dropped. Heavy. Final. "I've bled for this country. Watched my brothers die for it. Held hands with soldiers who never made it home. And I come back to be treated like this." The Confederate flag above the bar fluttered from the AC. Like it was watching. Listening. Michael reached into his jacket again. Pulled out a folded document. Carefully. Gently. He placed it on the counter. "This is a certificate. Signed by the President. Commending my service." He didn't say it with pride. He said it with exhaustion. With a sadness you can't fake. Amber stared at the paper like it burned her fingers. Michael looked around once more. "You judged the skin, not the soul. And now you're exposed." He zipped his jacket. Folded the certificate. Turned to leave. Amber stammered. "Wait. Please, you can have a drink. It's on the house." He paused. "I didn't come here for a drink," he said. Then walked out. But the story didn't end there. Because what they didn't know, what the whole town didn't know, was that Michael wasn't just a veteran. He was a national icon. Co-founder of a non-profit helping thousands of returning soldiers. Decorated not just by medals, but by presidents. And what no one in that bar saw was that someone had filmed everything. The insults, the jacket, the reveal. It hit Twitter like a storm. Then Facebook, then CNN. The bar's name, Crowley's, was trending for all the wrong reasons. Hashtag Serve Your Heroes exploded online. People were furious. News crews came. Sponsors left. Beer companies pulled deals. The bar's owner issued an apology. Amber was fired. But the shame remained. And Michael? He didn't say a word until CNN called, and he said yes. On live TV, the host leaned in. "What do you want people to learn from this?" Michael looked into the camera. "That you shouldn't have to unzip your jacket to prove your worth." The host nodded. "Do you forgive them?" Michael paused. "No, because forgiveness comes after accountability, and they haven't faced it yet." Then the host smiled. "One last thing. That certificate you showed, who signed it?" Michael stared. Calm, steady, then dropped the twist. "It wasn't signed by one president," he said. "It was signed by 3. Clinton, Bush, Obama." The room went quiet. The feed cut to black. The internet lit up. And Crowley's bar? It never recovered. Meanwhile, Michael wrote a check, quietly, to a small black-owned bar across town. Enough to open a second branch. Enough to hire 10 more vets. Enough to show what real respect looks like. No more jackets. No more proving. Just dignity. Because they judged the outside. But they never saw the storm within. And by the time they did, it was already too late.